What's up, everybody, and thank you for swinging into this week's version of Topic Countdown. You see what I did there? Today we're going to be going over the top 10 Spider-Man suits in light of the new Spider-Man game that has come out today. So when you're hearing this recording, it will have come out yesterday, but I just cannot wait to play this game. I've seen so much gameplay of it, even though I want to avoid it because I want to play it myself. I'm just so excited. I'm a huge Marvel nut, a huge comics nut, a huge Spider-Man fan, and I cannot wait to play this game. It just looks amazing because it's the Amazing Spider-Man. So in light of that, like I said, today we're going to be going over the top 10 Spider-Man suits. Now, there's no particular order for why I put these suits in the way that I did. I just strictly based it off of which ones I like and, which suits I think look very cool. Also, I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally or if I stop a few times. I think I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. But without that, the excitement still rolls on, so let's get into this list. So at number 10, I have the classic suit. Now, I know the classic suit needed to have a spot on this list. I mean, it's a classic Spider-Man suit. It sets the precedence for all the other suits that are, to come later on in the Spider-Man franchise. And I just love how when you think Spider-Man, you think of the classic suit. Many heroes, such as Batman, many people think, this is my Batman, and they think of, this suit that he wears, or for example, Wolverine. When I think Wolverine, I think of him in that yellow, suit, but many people might think of him in another suit, or maybe not even wearing a suit at all. But when everyone thinks of Spider-Man, they think of him in that classic, red and black or red and blue suit. Granted, it's changed, a few times here and there, but the same, design still stands. Just the webbing all over the red and black or the red and blue, and just that classic look of Spider-Man. I just love the classic suit. It just has stood the test of time, and it just is gonna stay the test of time for many people to come. And when you think of Spider-Man, you think the classic suit. So going from classic onto something new, at number 9 we have the Miles Morales suit. Now, I know Miles Morales also needed a spot on this list for being the new version of Spider-Man, and I just love the way the suit looks. I love how it takes that red and black / red and blue idea, but it kind of flips it on its head and still keeps that red secondary color, but now we have a black primary color. It looks very sleek, looks very stealthy, very stylish, and just a newer version for the symbol of Spider-Man for this new generation, and I love that. I also love how it has electricity involved in it. I love how the design of the spider and the webbing, it's still there, but it comes down to the waist now instead of all over the body, and we still keep that black primary color all over. I think it looks very, very cool, and I love this suit. So moving on from the Miles Morales suit, at number 8 we have the Armor Suit Mach 1. I love this suit. I've always loved it. I don't know why I love it. I just always have. It is so simple. It is pretty much just a classic suited Spider-Man that is just steel-plated armor, and that is it. It just looks so cool. I just love the silver and black design they have of it, and still keeping that classic essence. Like I said when I was discussing the classic suit, strictly just made for taking blows and not getting injured. I remember playing in this suit in a super old Spider-Man game when I was a kid. I wish I could remember the name of it, but I've always loved this suit. It just looks awesome. It looks cool. It probably doesn't work well for when swinging or for when fighting villains because it's probably really heavy, but I just love the way it looks. It just holds a special spot in my heart for me, and I'm always going to have it on any list that I include, even if it doesn't have any great use. I just love the design. So moving on to number 7, we have the Future Foundation Spider-Man suit. So for those of you that don't know, for a time the Fantastic Four was known as the Future Foundation, and Spider-Man was a founding member. I love this suit because it's so different than a lot of the other suits that he's made. Whether we're discussing the Stealth suit or the Iron Spider suit or any other suit, many of them still, like I said, resonate with the classic Spider-Man suit. They have the webbing all over, the other way the eyes look, the design of them, the spider being there. And that's what I like about the Future Foundation suit, that it's so different from all of those. It's just a pure white suited primary color with the secondary color of the black. I love how they have the symbol in the middle of the chest, but it's not the spider, and there's just the black on the sides of the suit as well as on his other extremities. I just love the pure, white look to it, because when I think of Spider-Man and his suits, he has lots of, red ones as the primary color or black ones as the primary color with other techie things mixed in. But with the Future Foundation suit, it's just pure white, and I always thought that looked super cool alongside the other Fantastic Four members with their Future Foundation suits. I always thought that just looked amazing, and he just looked so good in it. So moving on to number 6, we have the present day version of the armored suit. This suit looks so cool, just like the first version of the armor suit. I love this version of the armor suit as well. It looks so sleek, it looks so badass, it just looks so cool. It makes Spider-Man look like a robot, and I love that. The design of it is cool. The design of the eyes at first was something that I had to get used to, but after I got used to it and I watched it in action, I read some panels of it and saw some pictures of it, I thought it just looked really, really cool. And I just, like I said, I love how he looks like a freaking robot. I mean, that looks great. And just the design of the armor and where it is, plus the giant spider on him, I always thought that looked amazing. And I just love this version of the armor suit and how it's just developed from, like I said, that steel plated armor suit to this robotic looking one, and updated for a more present day design. I think that is awesome. So moving from something so complex into something so simple, we have the Ben Reilly suit at number 5. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, how can you go from the armored spider robot looking suit to a sweater? And I don't know, but I have always loved the Ben Reilly suit. Just like the first version of the armor suit holds a special place in my heart, so does a Ben Reilly suit. The Ben Reilly suit to me is badass. Like, as a kid, I always wanted to have that sweater so I can, be Ben Reilly, so I could just walk around with that sweater on, because I always thought Spider-Man looked so cool with that sweater on as well. I mean, and just like the Future Foundation suit, how it holds the primary color of white, the Ben Reilly suit holds that primary color of just red, without any of the webbing, without any of the designs. It's just a red suit, just strictly red, and with the blue sweater to contrast it with the spider on it and the white eyes without any of the outline. I always thought that looked so cool, and it's such a simple design, but sometimes the simplest design look the best. And I've just always enjoyed the Ben Reilly suit. I always thought it just looked so cool, and how it contrasted Spider-Man, the normal Spider-Man, very well, from being this complex design, red and blue suit, to now just this simple, no design, just sweater, red and blue suit. I always thought that looked so cool, and it just gave Ben Reilly his own design, fleshing him out, making him his own character. Even if you don't like him, this suit is cool. So moving on from the Ben Reilly suit at number 4, we have the black suit. I know, let's just keep this trend going with just a simple suit design. I mean, what can I say? Some of the simplest suits, like I said, look the best. So with the black suit, obviously everybody knows it's the the creation of the Venom design, but for Spider-Man, we have just the white eyes and the white spider and the white spots on his hands, and the rest just black. I mean, it looks so cool. It would look cool for a stealthy situation. I mean, it would look cool just swinging through the streets of New York. I mean, it's such a different take from that classic suit or any suit he's worn. From this vibrant, bright, robust colors onto just this super dark and just menacing Spider-Man. Just that look of him looks awesome. And I also love, like I said earlier, when I bring up the black suit, how this suit, inspired the look of Venom, and just making Venom even more menacing, taking that next step from, okay, well, Spider-Man looks menacing, let's make a villain with the same look that's even more menacing than he is. I love that. And like I said, the all white spider on his chest as well as on his back just looks so cool. I also own a tank top of that same design. I always thought it looks great, and how when you see it, you instantly think Venom or instantly think black suited Spider-Man. So moving on from one black suit to another, we have the noir suit. I am a huge fan of anything noir, anything that's set in that kind of setting, and the noir suit is no different. it looks so cool. And I mean, when I think of different, types of suits that Spider-Man has worn that's so robust and so out there, I instantly think the noir suit, because it is such a different take on Spider-Man, but it is so cool. Whether you have him wearing the trench coat and the fedora with the suit under it, or just a suit primarily, either way, it looks awesome and it fits into that noir setting perfectly. I love the goggles. I love the vest that he wears, and just how it looks just so sleek. And it's like you can just reach out and touch the leather, or touch the design that you feel on there, as well as just being a super menacing look. I mean, just imagine you're somewhere in an alley on a dark night, and just someone shows up wearing that Spider-Man noir suit. I think I'm going to be intimidated. Maybe it's just me, who knows. But I love how it keeps the essence of who Spider-Man is, and the look, similar to what Spider-Man is, but it flips it on his head, and takes it into that noir setting that just looks so amazing. And it looks even better in just the black and white color palette that they have, in some of the games, or some of the pictures that I've seen. I love it, and it just looks so freaking awesome. So moving on to number 2, from old onto new, we have the Spider-Man 2099 suit. This suit looks freaking awesome too. I mean, everybody loves this suit. Everyone that I know loves this suit. I love how it's switched now from red being that primary color, and it shoots it into the future with now blue being Spider-Man's primary color, with the red a skull design, and the red spikes on the side of his forearms, and just the mask itself looks cool. And I love how it also has that tattered and battered cape of webbing on his back. It just makes for a more like broken Spider-Man, and plus it just ups the design for the futuristic take on him, and he just looks so cool. I mean, when you play a lot of the games, the future suit often looks kind of, shiny and more high tech, and I think that that look of it is also super, super cool, and it just looks amazing. I mean, it's so different in design. It reminds me of the Cosmic Spider suit, but just a little bit cooler, because the Cosmic suit is kind of to me. But I think if you would have used a 2099 suit, whether in that 2099 setting, or you even told me that, hey, that's the new Cosmic suit, I wouldn't have been mad. I think that that's such a cool design. I love the way the face looks too, and how the skull on the chest reminds me kind of the Punisher, but just more of a Spider-Man take on it. I just think it's super, super cool, and just a really cool update for the future. And just the suit itself has always been something I've loved, and I always thought it was just great to look at. So moving from Spider-Man 2099 on to my number 1 pick that many people probably saw coming, is the Iron Spider suit. Now, I know I have a special place in my heart for all of these suits here, but the Iron Spider suit is the one that tops them all for me. I have always loved the Iron Spider suit. It's always looked amazing to me. Plus, I mean, being that my favorite color is red, I just love the red and gold design of this Iron Spider suit. It looks so cool. When they were talking about having the Iron Spider suit in Infinity War, and when there were speculations rounding that he was going to have the Iron Spider suit, I so desperately wanted it to be this suit. I'm not mad that it's just the classic suit, just iron plated and a little bit of a different design. That's cool, but a part of me still wants the original Iron Spider suit from the comics. I always thought that giant spider on his chest, gold plated, as well as his gold gauntlets and his gold eyes, just mixed in with that red suit, looked so beautiful, and it just looks so awesome in contrast to what was happening in the comics at the time. Obviously it was during Civil War when he wore this suit primarily, and being the super cool neighborhood, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, during this time of war when it was dark and depressing, and there's people dying and heroes fighting each other, you had Spider-Man still wearing this super robust, sleekish, stylish suit that contrasted that tone and was very bright and vibrant, but still made the character of Peter Parker very dark and having to make these tough decisions to what was going on around him and seeing his friends fight and die. I just thought it was so cool. And I remember reading the cover at the end of Civil War. I believe it's, spoiler alert for a really old comic line, when Steve Rogers dies, and there's a series of comics that kind of chronologicalize the events of him passing and his funeral and what happens after that and such. There's a cover, I'll put it up here on the screen if I can find it, of Spider-Man with his Iron Spider suit and his spider arms standing on the fallen shield of Captain America with some webbing mixed around. And when I first saw that comic when I was younger, I just thought, wow, that is beautiful. That is such a beautiful suit and a beautiful cover. And I love too how they gave him, this spider arms for being Spider-Man. They gave him these, extendo arms that were just gold plated. And I just thought it was so cool and just gave him such a good use. And I love how we saw the use of that in Infinity War. How he was able to use his arms and how they saved him many times when he fell on the ground, or how he supported himself or defended himself using those arms. What more can I say about the Iron Spider suit? It holds such a special place for me, and that is the suit that I favor over any Iron Spider suit, over any Spider-Man suit that has ever been. And I know that might be the unpopular opinion, but to me that suit is beautiful, and it will always continue being that. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. For today's topic countdown. What did you think about my picks? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Would you have put any others? Which suits do you like? Which one's your favorite? Please let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for joining me on today's version of Topic Countdown. And I look forward to the next show where I can come back with an even better topic and even better picks for you guys. That's gonna do it for me, guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.